Suppose Taiwan is invaded or Taiwan has an earthquake. Nothing is shipped out of Taiwan from now on. What happens next?
Can you just say it's all terrible? Everything's terrible? Because it's not just like leading edge. Leading edge, people will focus on leading edge, but there's a lot of trailing edge stuff that like people depend on every day. I mean, we all worry about AI. The reality is you're not going to get your fridge. You're not going to get your cars. You're not going to get everything. It's terrible. And then there's the human part of it, right? It's all terrible. Can we, like, it's depressing.
I think,
and I live there. Yeah.
I think day one market crashes a lot, right? You got to think about like, I think the big six biggest companies, Magnificent Seven, whatever the heck it's called, are like 60-75% of the S&P 500, and their entire business relies on chips, right? Google, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, you go down the list, right? They all Meta, right? They all entirely rely on AI. You would have a tech reset, like extremely insane tech reset, by the way, right? Like, so market would crash a day in, a couple weeks in, right? Like, people are preparing now. People are like, oh shit, like, let's start building fabs. Fuck all the environmental stuff. Like, war's probably happening. But like the supply chain is trying to like figure out what the hell to do to refix it. But 6 months in, the supply of chips for making new cars gone or sequestered to make military shit, right? You can no longer make cars. And we don't even know how to make non-semiconductor induced cars, right? Like this unholy concoction with all these like chips, right?
Cars like 40% chips now.
Yeah.
It's like it's just chips in the tire.
There's like 2,000 plus chips. Right? Like, every Tesla door handle has like 4 chips in it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, why? But it's like shitty like microcontrollers and stuff. But like there's like 2,000 plus chips even in an ICE vehicle, like internal combustion engine vehicle, right? And every engine has dozens of chips, right? Anyways, this all shuts down because not all of the production. There's some in Europe. There's some in the U.S. There's some in Japan.
Yeah, the Europe they're gonna bring in a guy to work on Saturday until 4.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you have like TSMC always builds new fabs. That old fab, they like tweak production up a little bit more and more, and new designs move to the next node, and old stuff fills in the old nodes, right? So ever since TSMC has been the most important player. And not just TSMC, there's UMC there, there's PSMC there, there's a number of other companies there. Taiwan's share of like total manufacturing has grown every single process node. So in like 130 nanometer, there's a lot, and including like many chips from like Texas Instruments or Analog Devices or like NXP, like all these companies, 100% of it is manufactured in Taiwan, right? By, either TSMC or UMC or whatever. But then you like step forward, right? Like 28 nanometer, like 80% of the world's production of 28 nanometer is in Taiwan. Oh, fuck, right? Like, and everything in 28 nanometers, like what's made on 28 nanometer today? Tons of microcontrollers and stuff, but also like every display driver I see, like, cool. Like, even if I could make my Mac chip, I can't make the chip that drives the display. Like, you just go down the list, like everything. No fridges, no automobiles, no weed whackers, because that shit my toothbrush has fucking Bluetooth in it, right? Like, why? I don't know. But like, there's like so many things that like, just like, poof, we're tech reset.